All right, good morning, everybody. I know it's been a while since I've recorded anything, but today we're dealing with this truck. Some rear brake issues. Let me get you turned around. I'll get you a little closer, and we'll try to get going on this. As you can see, I've already started, but I'll give you some details. All right, what I'm dealing with, as you can see, I've already pulled the axle out. These are full floating axles. This backing plate on this Ford, as you can see, it's just totally pulled through. Well, it allowed the emergency brake shoes to fold forward and hit the back of the drum. So right now I'm waiting on a few more parts to come in. I need this wrench, the socket, to pull that nut off inside there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a 4-prong nut. It needs to be spun out of there, and the bearing's behind it. Then the hub's got to come off, and there's a seal behind the hub. The kick, I ordered this O-ring for the axle shaft right here. Don't forget to order that, because it may start leaking. So let me walk you over here and show you this kit that I got. So you can get this, what they call a loaded back plate. Pardon the camera, but this is what they're calling a loaded back plate. It comes with all new hardware, brake shoes, and everything else. So 926 265, and this is 926 266. Make sure you specified single rear wheel. Got a little bit of gear oil that leaked out, so I'll have to replace that. I'm gonna go ahead and get this other tire off and struggle getting that drum off. I'm sure that's going to be hung up on those brake shoes, but I'll set you up and take you along. This isn't big enough. Yeah. All right. As you can see, it's due to come off anyway. Zip tie this up to this leaf spring so it don't hang off the brake line there. Brake pad. You're gonna need a breaker bar for this. You typically have Loctite on. Get them broken loose, you should be able to put a ratchet on them. So it's got a blue Loctite wrenchable. While you're doing this, as you can see, that just dropped off. Make sure you maintain your caliper slides here. This boots will come off and you lubricate that shaft going into your caliper bracket. they're cracked or anything, you might want to replace those boots. This rotor's getting replaced. Well, I know I'm replacing driver's side, so you might as well do them in pairs. This is a rubber mallet. So even if you're not going to replace the rotor, use a rubber mallet if you can. Sometimes they seize up around here. You might be able to put you some bead blaster or nut and bolt loosener there to let it soak in. Oh, man, did we ever. All right. All I'm doing here on this new one is seeing which way I need to go with the old one to loosen it up. See, as I turn that jam nut through this toothed wheel in, it spreads this shaft, spreads the shoes. So I don't want to do that because it'll make it hard to get my hub back on. So I'm going to loosen it back up. This is your emergency brake. You need to get that off this, what I call a dog or bracket ear, whatever you want to call it. But in order to do that, you're going to have to collapse this spring. This end down here has got barbs on it. Yeah, this down here has got some barbs on it. And they hold it into that bracket, into this bracket here. See that there? They've got some dogs on it. This has got some barbs on it. So we need to try to collapse those, get it out of this bracket. And this spins 180 degrees. So let me see what I can do. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to pull that spring back, put this vice grip here and hold that spring right back here. Okay. And once I get that clamped on that cable and hold that spring back, see how it's held back past this. So now I can work on those shoulders. As long as I got pressure on it. Pull the wrench off, see if I can get another bite. Now it'll come out. There it is. Okay. All right. Now, let's see if I can get this out of here without losing it again. Let's get this wrench off. Don't let it go. That's all I can tell you. There we go. So those pins, the reason we're changing the other side is these pins were pulling through that hole. I'll show you again. Those retainer pins. There's a good one there. And for some reason, that's where they go. You can see it's not there. Yeah, that one's still there, but this one's not. And that's what released all my brakes, and that's not good. It'll lock your brake up. So for many 2-wheel, 4-wheel drive light truck applications, includes 4x4 spindle removing socket, includes Toyota lock nut wrench. So 1/8 inch drive. So this, I'm hoping this is the one I need to do this job. That's it. Now we can get that spindle nut off there, the hub nut. All these bolts had Loctite on them, as you can see. That's why they were so hard to come out. So let's see what we got going on here. Got a little bit of drainage. Got an O-ring right here on this shaft. Gonna have to replace that. I got a new one. Looks like the bearing is in there. And it'll come loose. They said this seal is going to be stuck. I'm going to grab this bearing. So I'm going to do it. Just using a little pick. Truck's got 166,000, I'm sorry, miles on it, which I may have already mentioned. Don't hurt to check the bearings. There it is. They said it was going to break. That back seal. Right here. This seal needs to come off. It didn't pull off with the hub. It pulled out of the hub. So let me see if I can get something to pull that out with. Pull that off and clean it up. I need to get that speed switch out of there. That looks like you got a speed sensor over here on this side, right there. And it's held on with a looks like a 7/16 bolt on the back side. Let's get that off of there. Bolt. There's a speed sensor right here. Lay that off to the side so it don't get hurt. And I'm going to try to break these nuts loose on the back side. Figure out what size those are. 15/16. 15/16 is what they are. I think I broke it loose. Tapping, that seal is right in my way, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get that seal off there. All right, here's the old seal. There's the old backing plate. Alright, let's try to clean this up without poking myself in the eye. put something in the end of that shaft. Surfaces are cleared. Clean here. Slide this on. Like that. Seal should push right over top of that. Let's get some Loctite. Wrenchable Loctite. Okay. Put a dab on each one of them. Grip. Oh, don't want that to happen. Velcro like that. Turn my back. Alright. I guess all I'm missing now is the seals. I guess we'll go do the other side. Yeah. This is left handed thread. Peoples. Here it comes. Ripped it right out of there like the other one. Oh. So I'm going to take that little Dremel tool. I'm just going to score it till I see the rubber, because of the rubber coating on it. I'm just going to score it up top in case I get a little deep. Alright. There's your rubber liner right there. I didn't get it too bad. A little dot there. I'm good with that. Gotta get that speed sensor out of there. That's that speed sensor. There's the branch. 10 millimeter. Bolt there for that. Speed sensor. Make sure that's cleaned off before you put it back in there. This other one. We can get in here to it. There we go. First down. we go. Pop right off. There you go. Emergency brake cable. You need to bring it 90 degrees. This is the arm you're going to put it on. See the slot? Square, or actually rectangle. So you're going to bring it in here at 90 degrees, perpendicular to this. Walk around there. Now, once you get that done, you got to pull that spring back, put your clamp or your barbed fitting right in this hole here. And it pops and locks, so that's ready to go. Alright, I'm not going to show this, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of these seals out of the back of these hubs. Then I'll be done. So, I've already done one. I'm going to start releasing the wall. Just work your way around it. And it'll pop right out. Looks like there's some kind of silicone sealant around the edge of that, so hopefully the new one will have some on it, but if it doesn't, I would recommend putting a light coat on it before you put the new one in. So there's the bearing. Looks like a little shim on the top of the bearing, so keep that off to the side. Right now I'm just going to clean up the surfaces right around in here where the seal went, right in here where the seal went, wipe it down. Hopefully we got you a good enough setup here where you can see what's going on or what I'm doing. First I'm going to put some grease on my bearings. Just a little coat. I've already cleaned the inside of this hub out. It had some type of silicone on the original. So now let's see if we can get it started in here square. I hope. Okay. All right. Everything looks good. So I'm gonna put some grease on the inside of this lip before I slide it on there. See if we can get it slid on. Clean this surface up where that seal rides real quick. See if we can get it popped on there. I guess I ought to go ahead and grease that other bearing too. All right. Yeah, acts like it. There we go. Slipped on there pretty good. So let me get this bearing. Put a little lube on it. Anyway, I put a little grease on here. Slide it up there. Alright. We've got a key slot, a key right here. Line it up on your spindle. Then you start spinning the nut on. That's about all you can get on that. For 70. Rotate. Occasionally rotate it. Alright, there's 70. Then it wants you to back it off 90 degrees or a quarter turn and then back to 20. There's 90 degrees. And I'm going to go back to 20 foot-pounds. There's 20. Alright. Yeah, here's a speed sensor. Hooks in the back of that back plate. Just a dab of Loctite's all you need. 10 millimeter. Okay, you can see it down there underneath the blue spring. Those teeth are just got plenty of clearance between that sensor and those geared teeth, so there you go. So next thing I'm going to do is I need to verify which way to turn this adjustment screw. I think I got to go down with it to open it. Make sure your mating surfaces are clean here so you get a good contact. You get a good flat surface so your drum will sit flat on the HUD there. Run a lug nut up on this thing just to hold it. It's snug now. Alright, so next thing, it's got the old bracket here. I'm going to clean this up with a wire. Clean up the mating surfaces right here real quick with a wire brush, and I'm going to check these slides right here. They work well. There's nothing wrong with them slides. They're not cracked or anything else. Let's see here. Alright. Looks like that's good there. Like I said, make sure those are free. I mean, they've got plenty of grease in them. So I'm going to get these bolts here. Don't need much. Yeah, don't forget to clean these rotors up with some brake clean. It'll help you out. You don't want any oil on those bolts, on that rotor. I'll probably wipe them off again before I get done. Alright, got that snug, make sure there's nothing rubbing. I'm going to put this strong arm back on it since that's the way I took it off. Put a little bite on it. It's got Loctite on it, so I feel comfortable. Now, let's check out these brake shoes. These pads. Alright. So I'm flipping these anti-rattle clips around because I don't think I had them on there correctly. Let's get this compressed. I got the lid off the brake reservoir. I'm gonna try to compress this. I got an old pad there. I'm gonna try to compress it. Alright, let's see if that's enough. I don't know yet. We'll try it. I doubt it. So, I bet it's not enough. What do you want to bet? Bet it's not enough. Let me cut that zip tie. Don't want to push the boots. I don't want to drop that either. Alright, see what we got going on now. Alright, looks like we're there. Looks like we are there. Oh, can't do that. Get him over there. A little bit. Just have to put a wrench on that back side if I ever have a problem. Top one, let's go to the bottom one. So, I don't know if y'all could see that toothed wheel in there. That's what I'm adjusting my brake with. I'm going to turn it down. So, let's see, I'll turn it down, rotate it, and go from there. Got this brake tool right here. That's what I'm going to use to turn it down with. You'll hear it click on that spring. So right now, we're freewheeling. Hear it click. One click is too much. Alright, we're going to leave it there. That's what we're going to do. Put my plug in. It's got a little slot in it. See the little slot? I'll stick it back in there. Hopefully without too much trouble. Brake's just dragging. So, I don't know how much of that you'll saw, but there's a plug right there. Just slide this in. Got the new O-ring on there. Cleaned up the surface area. clean up the shaft, make sure there's no dirt on it, that you don't introduce it into the rear end. There we go. Alright, turn it. I got this O-ring you got to deal with. I'm going to put some grease on that to help me in. Alright. Alright, we're popped in. So, put some Loctite on them. I'll torque them up to 80 pounds. No, 85. I think it's what, 85 foot-pound. I'll torque this when I get it on the ground and add fluid to it. I'm going to go ahead and put the other one together, and I will, if I run into anything out of the ordinary, I'll kick the camera on, and we'll go from there. Got the brakes put back together on the other side. Topped off the fluid in the differential, because you're going to lose a little bit when you go to pull those axles out. Didn't run into anything on the other side any different than I did on the first side. So I guess the main things are make sure you check your fluid back in the differential. Make sure your rotors are clean, brake clean all your rotors before you, because they come in shipped with grease on them. So I'll close out this video. Hopefully the next video will be me tearing this thing apart. I'll see you in the next video.